Welcome back, Kryptonians, to the Chart Experts' continuing coverage of Bitcoin and crypto charts. In this video, I'm going to hold your hand whilst we look at this chart and just admire the structure, the price structure of Bitcoin as it continues along its path. Now, in the last few videos, we've been discussing various different aspects of the way the price is positioned currently. We've discussed issues such as the fact that the buyers of Bitcoin at the lows around, well, it was between, what was it, between 3 and 6k, somewhere along those lines. Those buyers have now seen a 10x appreciation in the value of their Bitcoin, but according to our analysis, they've not yet had time sufficiently to take profits on their investments. More time needs to pass because those investments are now worth 10 times as much. So bearing in mind it took a certain period to accumulate, to buy that Bitcoin, at least twice as much time needs to pass, maybe more, depending on how much of that investment they're going to take profits on. We've also discussed the fact that the ETFs who bought at the beginning of the year, they've not had time in which to accumulate Bitcoin for their holdings. Okay, so whilst we've been seeing profit taking occurring at the new all-time high of roughly, let's just say 74k, whilst we've seen profit taking occurring, price in our opinion needs to move lower, and more time needs to pass where more profit taking occurs over a longer period. Okay, and for price to move lower to allow the real movers and shakers, i.e. the whales who move these markets, who inevitably determined how price moves with their huge orders. We need to see those participants take part in this market, because without their participation, effectively we're driving a sports vehicle with no petrol, no diesel, no electric charge. Okay, so once those institutions are ready with full bags of Bitcoin, then they'll be setting their orders higher to sell, to distribute, and for other players to come into the market later on. Okay, at higher prices, obviously. Okay, so that's the way the market normally works. Normally an extended period of accumulation needs to occur, where the whales are accumulating and then other players come into the market later on, and they buy up or take position based on the fact that significant accumulation has occurred and the market is ready to move higher. So one of the questions that one of my patrons posed was, what if the market moves higher to, for example, 76k, and could that happen, and if so, how does that affect things? We've been looking at the structure of Bitcoin, the price of Bitcoin, for the last, a very long time. But ever since that 73k top, 74k top. The main thing that we need to bear in mind is the fact that the market is a moving picture. Okay, we can read the story based on what's happened so far, but what we do not know is, it's possible for new participants to come into the market and for them to have deeper pockets, or for existing participants to change their plans, for example, and for there to be buying at even high levels, and there could be somebody, could it be a sovereign wealth fund, for example, that just says, okay, I just want the Bitcoin at any price, and therefore, the market just moves higher beyond current levels, and then we see 76k at an unscheduled time. Okay. It's possible. It's not usual, I'd have to say. It's not usual for the bigger players to not consider price. Okay. However, it is possible. So in that case, yes, we would see 76k upwards. It'd be at least 76k, and yes, in that case, we'd have to say that the current profit taking and the people who've been buying have accumulated, and price moves higher. Okay, that does not mean that price can't still come back down lower, because it all depends on what the aims of the people buying are, and how much they're looking to buy, because there are still orders to be had lower down, where the whales want to accumulate Bitcoin at lower prices. So we could be looking there at a scenario where price moves higher, then comes back down to these levels again, dips lower, and then again off to the races. Okay, so there are many different permutations that can occur. All we can do as analysts is to say, right, this is the story as we've read it so far, and this is the story that the charts are telling us so far, and without any unexpected surprises, this is what we expect to happen, and that would be our forecast. Okay, so right now, what we are doing is we're looking at the price, the current swing from 70k down to 49k. We know we're within that blue box range of that 70 to 49k swing. Currently, everything that we've seen so far is basically price clawing territory back up again. But this really is, in a way, trapping new entrants into the market. And what we're seeing is that price has now come back up to the top of the range, near to that 70k level. And what we're expecting to see here is for that seller that initiated the selling previously to say, hey guys, I'm still here, I just wanted higher prices in which to sell into. We've seen a limited amount of selling as prices moved up, but this is basically just selling at the highest possible prices, which is exactly what you'd expect for the market to do, for market participants to do. It doesn't have to happen each time, but normally when you get to the top of a range that's seen significant selling in a move prior, then you're likely to see the same type of selling to occur. So therefore we'd expect for price now to flush downwards, with aggressive selling and for price to move from the top of the range back down to the bottom of the range. Okay, so that's where we are right now. Now suppose price were to move higher, what would be the signs? Well, let's say we were to see a break above 70k. Okay, what would happen there is that breakout traders would be entering the market, looking to take the market higher. Also, the shorts that entered positions here at the top of a range, they'd have to cover their shorts, so there'd be a short squeeze in effect, and instead of selling, they'd turn into buyers. Okay, that would take us up to 72k, and again that same process would repeat. You'd have breakout buyers and short covering, again taking the market higher, and then what we'd eventually see is a breakout above the all-time high. Okay, and then yeah, sure, 76k upwards is possible. Okay, but what we're expecting in a normal market, as per the story so far, is for the sellers to basically say we're still in control. Okay, so we are still expecting lower prices in Bitcoin, and that's an opportunity for everyone who wants Bitcoin to buy, because you like to buy at the sales. Like anything else, when there's a discount, that's when you want to buy. So I hope this video has been helpful to you. Again, it's not financial advice. We're just doing this for educational purposes only. Okay, it's your money, you are responsible. We are not responsible for your money, but it's a great education, these markets. Okay, I hope this video has been helpful to you. Please give us a thumbs up, share it, subscribe if you haven't done so already. Hey, this is Asim at the Chart Experts, wishing you every success. Join us on Patreon. That's patreon.com/Chart Experts, where you can support this channel. And I'll see you in the next video. Take care of yourself and your crypto. Till next time. Bye bye.